Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I'll start off as always letting you know the card pieces that you'll need. I've used a card base of Pool Party and this measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 centimetres by 14.5. It's scored and folded in the middle there. A piece of Whisper White, which measures 4 inches by 5 5/8, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. The sheet of DSP that I'm using is from the Cherry on Top Designer Series paper stack. The reason I'm sticking to the same colour, which is unusual for me because I do normally vary it, is because I want to use this ribbon and this is the only colour it comes in. So this piece measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 inches by, 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres. The vellum that I've used is from the Botanical Gardens Designer Vellum stack, which is available during Sale-A-Bration as a free product up until the 31st of March, and you will need almost a whole sheet. The reason I've only got this left is because I have already stamped all my flowers, die cut them. I'm going to do one of each so that I can give you some tips on things to do, not to do, etc. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my stamping, and what I really recommend you do is that you do it the night before, leave it overnight to dry. But if you're like me and you don't have the patience for that, let me show you how the best way to do it. Okay, so I'm using Pool Party ink. The stamps I'm using are from the Botanical Blooms, and I'm going to use this one and this one and this. There is a coordinating die set that goes with this. So first of all, this one you need 6. Okay, let's start down this end. This is my last sheet of this design. The design I'm using is the one that's got the stars and the spots on. There we go, that's that. Don't worry if this happens where you've got one side that's gone darker than the other. It really doesn't make any difference once you've got all your flower together. And then you want 3 of these. And then you'll need 3 of the leaves, and my green ink seems to have gone walkabouts. In that case I'll just take another green. I would recommend that you use Mossy Meadow. I'm going to take always Artichoke. You do need a nice dark colour for this. Okay, so now the problem is this ink doesn't dry very quickly on vellum, and if you want to just go straight ahead with it, which is what I wanted to do, once you've done this bit, what's the best thing to do is to take a sheet of kitchen roll and just place it on top and gently pat it. That will soak up most of the moisture. As you can see, it will take quite a bit of the colour off, but it leaves quite a bit of colour as well. Better for you to see that on white. But at least that means that you can start and just keep going. So I'm just going to put that on one side for a moment. It's not going to be totally dry before I finish this card, but that's okay. I will just give it a little while I put, no, I'm going to just put these two pieces together because I want to put some ribbon around it. This glitter ribbon is absolutely gorgeous, really love it. I hope they, hope Stampin' Up bring out this in more colours. You have to excuse my voice if it comes and goes. I've got a very sore throat at the moment. Right. Now let's see. Where I've done this, this is a bit like our gently falling embossing folder where there's a lot of snow at the bottom, not much at the top. And I like to put it so that I've got most of the dots down the bottom. This makes me think of water. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be. Oops. Crikey. Not doing too well here, am I? Oh, that's alright. Being too hard on myself, I think. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ribbon around, and it is just called Glitter Ribbon in Pool Party. What I did here, I've cheated. I just put some ribbon round it, and then I folded the bow separately. So I'm just going to use my, excuse me while I lean across to get my snail. Just put a little bit of snail on the back. And I want this about halfway. So this should be 4 and, what did I say, 4 inches this piece, isn't it? So I need this at 2 inches. Which is nice and convenient because it means 2 inches the other side as well. Not that it ever looks straight to me, but right, so that's absolutely at the quarter mark there. Right, that's it. That is straight, whether it looks it to me or not, it is. Okay, so I'll take another small piece and do a bow the bunny ears way, which is to take one loop there, one loop there, make sure the tails are both the same side there, and then fold. Just push that through the gap. And then it will spin over. That's not gone. Which one hasn't spun? Oh, that's it, I think, isn't it? That's better. About the same size. Right, and what I'm going to do to adhere that is I'm going to use glue dots because it needs something really quite strong to adhere to the glitter bit. So I'll put one, I'm putting one behind that folded bit there, and I'm going to put one behind that folded bit there. Do we need another one? No, I don't think so. Okay, so just pop that in the centre. If you don't like your ribbon moving like this, you can always put another glue dot underneath it. Okay, so that's that bit. And just, oh, wasn't too clever. Let's put some more SNAIL on that. I think it's because it's the glitter ribbon that it's not sticking too well. Maybe I'll have to put a glue dot on it actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Right, if that comes off again, that is exactly what I will do. Make sure that was still okay. Yes. Right, let's leave it out of the way so I'm not touching it. Right, now I need some more of my vellum. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut my flowers off. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to use a different one today. Both of these come from the Picture Perfect set. This one I've used You Are Just the Nicest, and on this one I'm going to use You Are Made of Wonderful. I think both of those sentiments are just absolutely lovely. So first of all I need to use my embossing buddy just to make sure that I don't have any greasy fingerprints on here, all static. Then I have my stamp and I have my Versamark. So ink that up, and then I need, oh no, I did bring it over, didn't it? Because it's in the big pot. White embossing powder. Right. There we go, that's that. Okay, right, now I have my heat tool here. Let's just switch that on. There we go, it's nice and quick. Now what I'm going to do with this one, because this is long and narrow, I'm going to use the washi tape punch. Now if you've ever tried punching out vellum, you know it doesn't always work too well. So what I do is I put mine onto a piece of cardstock and then I put the two through together. Now I'm using full party cardstock here because I'm going to actually use both on my card. But if I didn't want the cardstock on my card with the vellum, then I would have just used something that was old or a real scrappy piece. But I would definitely use something. Okay, so there's the two pieces. And the other thing you probably know is that it's very difficult putting glue on the back of vellum so that it doesn't show through. But what I found with this is if you just put this Tombow very, very thinly along the Wonderful, follow the letters on the back, and then just dab little bits behind the rest of the writing, because there's so much writing and writing and pattern here, it just doesn't show through. So let's see, let's squeeze this out. Right, now I'm just going to very gently, the last thing I need is big blobs in this. Right, it's coming through now, and I'm just following the letters. It's not coming out on 100% of the letters, but it is following through sufficient that it's going to be sticking fine. And now I'm just doing little dabs on the letters. I'm not putting any Tombow anywhere else apart from at the back of the writing. So now I'm going to pop this onto my cardstock. And you really can't see where the glue is. Let me see. Okay, you can't see any glue there at all. So that's the result. I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to, no, I'll put that on one side, I think. Right, I'm going to get my Big Shot up now and die cut these flowers. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them into 3 separate pieces. I've got a hair or something there. Now the next problem is that the dies, it's very difficult to line the dies up with these flowers because they're so faint. And I have also found that it doesn't really matter. Now I'm sure that I'm going to miss spots of the blue, so I'll be able to show you why it doesn't matter. Right, okay. So the die set is called Botanical Builder Framelits Dies, and you get an amazing 14 dies in this set, and I'm going to use that flower, and that leaf. Okay, now the leaf is very easy to line up, and also, by the way, I don't know if there's a right side and a wrong side to this patterned vellum. One side doesn't look any darker than the other, so I've given up thinking about that one now. So first of all, the leaf, oops, which is the more fussy one because it's so small, it jumps to the nearest magnet under there. Now this one, I try and see which is the fattest petal here, and I think it's that one there. And then this one here, which is the one that's got sizzix just to the, as you're looking at it, just to the right of it. And I think that is the one that goes on there. Now from here it looks as if that's showing through just blue. Now this one, now this also has one, that one there I think looks largest, which again is by the sizzix, and that one there is the largest. So I'm going to put that on there, and then it looks as if all you can see is blue. So I'm going to do that. I say it looks as if it's all blue. 9 times out of 10, once I've done this, as I've taken the dies off the vellum, you can actually see some white marks, which in a way I'm hoping so that you can see what I mean. Right, this one is normally brilliant. Yes, can you see how there's still the green? Let's do that on some white paper. You see there's still green on the vellum there. But equally, this is all green as well. Oh no, maybe not, maybe not. There we go. If you look on this edge here, you can see there is some white, clear. Can you see that? But once that's all put together, nobody's going to notice. Right, now this is a blue one. Now that's got quite a lot of blue left over. And there's a little bit of clear left there where the blue's not on there, and also a little bit over there. But you really are not going to notice it when the flower's been put together. And there's a little bit down here as well, and a little bit there. I'm sorry I was off screen there. Can you see this bit here? And just on there as well. Okay. But trust me, it really won't matter. Okay, let's move this out of the way, and then we can put our flowers together. Right, let's bring everything back. That's come undone again. Right, where's those glue dots? Didn't put them back in the box. Oh, there they are. Tweezers. Right. Just line this up. Right, that should be stuck permanently now. Right, now I'm not going to be using these because I've got mine over here already. Okay, so 6 large ones, 3 small ones, and 3 leaves. So what I do is I just use my bone folder and I curl these. You have to be careful and make sure you hold on a little way up from the base of the petal, because this tears quite easily if you go too hard with it. Okay, so I just give it a couple of little what am I doing? Little tugs at it, I suppose, a couple of little wraps. So that one, you see how nicely that comes up. Can you see the dimension on that? Yes, you can. And then you get 2 of those and 1 little one on each flower. There we go. In fact, this is something else I could have done before starting the video. Never mind, it doesn't take that long. No, it's the wrong way. I have to confess, on this card here, I did actually pull one of these petals off. I stuck it back on with a glue dot. It's a general thing, I don't like glue dots, but when you actually need them, they're fantastic. Right, this is the last one of the large flowers. Okay, so that's those, and then the 3 little ones. And this will make a little bit of a mess of your bone folder because the ink will come off onto it. Oops. These flowers are amazingly easy. You know, for the result you get, you know, you'd think it'd be a lot more difficult than just doing this. Right, I think that's the last one. And then with the leaves, I will just give them a little bit of curl. I don't want them to curl up as much as the flowers. Just be gentle with those. There we go. Right, okay, so to put these together, I'm going to use dimensionals all the way. So let's start here. Okay, so I'll put one in the middle. So those three go on, then I want those two, so I want something a little bit smaller for those. So where's my little one? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just using these edge ones. Let's put these on the back. And then the third one. Right, so those are going to go on there, those are going to go on there. So we need 3 of these with dimensionals on the back as well. Right, let's work from the top. Now there are 5 petals on these, so what I do is I turn them so that the petals go between the gaps of these ones. There we go, and then the little flower goes on top. And then that's the bit that goes on the card. So this is the one that takes the petal, and this takes the little flower. And then this one goes on top to this one. Turn it slightly. Small flower. Now for the centres, what I've done is I've used the metal rimmed pearls, which I think are really absolutely gorgeous. I love these. In fact, I think before I go any further, I'll stick my card base onto my card. Right. That's right, don't put it on upside down. I'll use Tombow for this. And there's a little bit too much ribbon there, so I might as well cut that off. Just give the ribbon a little bit of Tombow as well to make sure that sticks down. better. So let's do the sentiment first, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that as well. Let's just have half of one for the middle there, shall we? I'm just going to pop this in the middle. Now, the flowers, I'm going to pop those onto the card, and then I'm going to do the pearls. So the first one is the middle one, then that one and that one. I find it easier if I've got all three, place them. The centre one obviously is okay, but to put these two on. And of course I've still got the leaves to do. Right, I'll take these. These have got a little backing on them so that they are self-adhesive. The nice thing about these are they're big enough to cover up the dimensionals, so you can't see those through. And the last one. There we go. And what I do with the leaves is, oops, jumping jack. I use dimensionals for it, and I tend to lift these off and pop them onto the petals, because I did find with one of them that all it did was stripped some of the ink off, which it promptly left the glue dot on my roll. Right, okay, can you stick down there please? Right, okay. So once I've got the glue dot on the back there, I slide it into where I want it, and then use my tweezers to pinch it down. Right, let's see if we can do this one a bit more easily. I don't know why this is giving me grief today. Really more interested in sticking to me than the flower. Right, now you may want to do your leaves in different positions on each flower, all the same direction. I prefer to do mine the same. And I also take the very pointed part of the leaf as the top of the leaf. Right. And pop that one under. And get my tweezers to make sure it's on there properly. And there we go, there's my card for today. I'm pleased with this, I really like it. I think I will just trim that down a bit. And that one. That's better. There we go. I hope you like this card as well. I hope you give it a try. Many thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, please contact me. As always, I am very happy to help. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click on the 24/7 link that's in the details below, and that will take you straight to my Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting